If you go to Walt Disney World to see Country Bear Jamboree, well, you're out of luck because it's been shut down. However, it's coming back despite a persistent rumor from a reliable source that says the ride was next in line to be axed by the same people who put the hammer down on Splash Mountain. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. I'm Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, where we talk about streaming, theme parks, entertainment, and video games. Let's get into it. Country Bear Jamboree closing date announced to make way for new Country Bear Musical Jamboree at Magic Kingdom. As we reported earlier, actually, I think it was the first live stream on this channel. We talked about Country Bear Musical Jamboree.
I think so, yeah.
Yep. Disney has announced the closing date for the original Country Bear Jamboree at Magic Kingdom, as well as the reopening window for its new iteration, the Country Bear Musical Jamboree. Here we have Liver Lips McGraw, Big Al, Henry, Wendell, and Teddy Barra. Opening 2024. The Country Bear Jamboree will be closing the doors to Grizzly Hall on Saturday, January 27th to prepare for its transformation into the Country Bear Musical Jamboree. The attraction will reopen with its new show later this summer. The final day that guests can experience the original show will be Friday, January 6th. First announced in September 2023 during the Destination D23 event, which, by the way, wasn't this one of the only solid announcements that they had at the D23 event?
At the Destination D23.
Yes, right, because Destination is different than D23.
All right, unfortunately. But I think also this and the test track redo. But
that's right.
That was like
there were only two things that were actually happening. Yeah, you guys are right. Destination D in Florida, Disney Expo is California.
Yes, and
Disney Expo they announced Encanto Land.
Yeah. How did that?
That's right. That they were thinking about maybe doing a land, and maybe in that land we might do Encanto. You guys, it's going to be great.
Or maybe we're going to do Zootopia, and maybe it'll be great.
Yes. Which by the way, we were sent a "It's tough to be a bug" save. It's tough to be a bug petition. I'll try to grab that link and send it to our mods. I enjoy It's Tough to Be a Bug. It's one of the few representations of I will say Pixar's Pinocchio over there. Did I cut somebody off there? I didn't mean to.
No.
Oh no.
All right. So this is a retheme that it's not even a retheme. It's a redoing of this attraction. Especially the WDWNT guys. They have a lot of skin in the game here as far as Country Bear Jamboree. It is as close to an original attraction as you get. I think this was, in fact, the last attraction that Walt had a hand in before it got put into the parks. They say that he laughed at the concept. This is Mark Davis style animatronics here. And what they're doing, if I understand this correctly, is they are taking all of these old animatronics and replacing them with a bunch of newer electric motor animatronics. So they're a little bit easier to maintain. They can have a little bit more range of motion. They're not as noisy. They are doing a musical review that they're saying is going to be an homage to the previous show, but also incorporating a rotating track list of Disney stuff that's played with a real bluegrass band doing the recordings.
Well, that and they're going to give us more bear diversity.
Yeah, I think it opens with Henry saying, "I'm Henry and my pronouns are he, him."
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
I am wearing a pair of overalls with only one strap attached while the other one drags to the ground. Yeah. And we would like to acknowledge the land that has been taken from the state of Florida to build an experimental prototype community of tomorrow.
If they are rotating the tracks, maybe they'll do Blazing Saddles.
You will. I saw. By the way, that Walt Wright comment that has cracked me up so much was because they were assuming that we didn't know "Mama Don't Whoop Little Buford" was in the show. Yes, we're all well aware of "Mama Don't Whoop Little Buford." It's a joke, guys. Remember those?
Yeah, I used to have a lot of those. And we can theorize that those songs will be going away almost absolutely. But they've already started to make little changes. Like, for example, Liver Lips McGraw is not Liver Lips anymore. It's Romeo McGraw now. Yeah. So, there is a plan to update a lot of these old attractions that maybe don't necessarily fit the 21st century sentiments anymore.
Yeah, do you want to talk about
update
that?
those.
Because we've heard some things from Braden over at Mickey Views, and he'll come up as we get into the next story that is very closely related. But do you want to talk about Braden's take on the Country Bear Jamboree and what his sources were saying?
Yeah, the from what we understand, and this is kind of linking some of the stuff we've also heard as well. This kind of this Imagineering Stories Matter initiative, where a lot of these people attached to Tiana's by Adventure. Interestingly enough, I believe Carmen Smith is the head of this project right here, has gone and written up a list of all the things that need to be changed within the Disney parks in order to fit a 21st century mentality. And Country Bears was definitely one of them. There were things and references and so forth, and edgy material, like you said, jokes, Jonas, that now have to be removed in order to fit a more modernist mindset right there. But this also extends not even just to, it's not limited to the Country Bears alone. This includes names on Main Street, for example, or the Carousel of Progress, for example, right? It's a white family that we followed through 4 decades. Well, we can go ahead and change this up, let's say. Right. And this has been in the works for a while.
Right. And by the way, the answer to this question, maybe that'll be in the Hong Kong version of the attraction, if you haven't followed what's been going on with the Zootopia ride over there. So the word we were basically getting is that Imagineering hates this ride. There is a certain sect within Imagineering that may represent a majority of the department here that dislikes this ride in the same way that they dislike the original Splash Mountain. Again, they do not like the representation of the Mountain X community. So we were, in fact, very lucky to get a refit of the Country Bear Jamboree instead of them destroying it to replace it with something else.
Essentially, yes. That is very, very true. And they've had their eyes on stuff like this. Tiki Room, for example, right? And that's an interesting one too, because I believe Garner Holt has carried out a lot of the maintenance attached to this, at least Disneyland version. I'm pretty sure the Walt Disney World version as well. And he takes pride in recreating a lot of those specialty parts that are simply not available outside of 1963 and beyond.
And they've got a lot of the engineered drawings for those parts, as a matter of fact.
Right. Yeah. So it's great that attraction has been maintained the way it has, but you can definitely see if we're going to be following the Country Bear mentality, it's like, well, shouldn't we update that attraction with some of its, more risque, at least 21st century risque, Wally Bogue, imitations of certain accents and so forth. Mm-hmm. You could see where this mentality is going right here. I think in the case of Country Bear and in the case of Tiki Room, I think those are the most efficient use of those spaces that currently exist. So it doesn't necessarily surprise me that they went towards the direction of reimagining this attraction, but keeping the kind of the Country Bear ethos, let's say. But you could definitely see where they're going.
So the last thing I'll add is that this does accomplish something that this fixes a problem that we were complaining about here on this channel. That Tiana's Bayou Adventure is the only attraction at Disney World and Disneyland that is scheduled to be open within 2024. We're also hearing some murmurings that they've rushed that a little bit. I'm not necessarily backing up that rumor, but I have heard that they are trying very hard to get that thing open as soon as possible. Which, of course, why wouldn't they? But in this case, if they're opening this up within the next 6 months, I think that's the shortest timeline between announcing a new attraction, a truly new attraction, and opening an attraction at Walt Disney World that we've had in a very long time. So this gives them something to focus on. I don't know if I want to say that this will have a virtual queue attached to it to try to pretend like it's that artificial scarcity aspect that they usually put on these at the parks. But I don't know. Let's go around. Anybody have any comments, any takes here before we move on to our last topic? We're going to hit a couple of super chats, but we'll have one more thing to talk about here as far as Frontierland and the updates that will be coming there.
No, I'm glad that we are getting a new incarnation of the Country Bear Jamboree and not just removing it. That being said, though, the mentality that you go into these things with, right? They're not birthed from, an Imagineer who gets the epiphany and wants to create something really, really special. It's to solve a problem. And so with these problem-solving attractions coming into their own, that be Tiana's Bayou Adventure included in that, we're going to have to see how these fare and if they remain as popular as they maybe will be initially.
Yep. Alan, do you have anything?
Like everything Disney does, the further away you move from story, the worse it gets. And what are the stories they're telling here? It just we talked about it over and over. It feels like they're more or less trying to hit an agenda than they are trying to tell a story and entertain the crowds.
Yeah, in Disney parlance, it's bad show.
Yeah.
And believe me, I think all of us would probably walk around right now and just point out all the bad show, not only in the theme parks, but in all of their shows. I mean, we were talking about Echo earlier. I mean, it's just all bad shows.
Yep.
Yeah, my prediction is 6 months after Tiana's Bayou opens, we're going to talk about what's not working on the ride.
Yeah. What is the ride right now that is already breaking down?
Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway that just opened
right.
in January 2023.
Yep.
Yeah, well, and Ratatouille, which is just a replicant ride, breaks down regularly.
Right.
And we still have on both coasts the problem with Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to call out the park. There are certain channels that they just document the parks. They don't offer much commentary. They'll literally just go through the parks with a camera to just say, this is what it was like. 4K WDW is a great channel for that. Mm-hmm. It's kind of zen, watching people just slowly walk around the parks. Yeah. It's the ambiance, which is one of the better parts of the Disney experience, which they lose when they have your face in a phone all the time. But that's a rant we have often on this channel.
What?
Now remember,
he's saying
Mickey Minnie's Railway was the previous attraction from Trita Carter, so she's now going to be going into Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So that's where the connection is.
Well, to add to that, now there's a certain one of those channels, and I'm not going to call them out because I know Disney watches this channel, and I don't want to put them in danger. They're saying that they go on Mickey's Runaway Railway now for what they call the worst reason, which is to see what is broken today.
Look, I'm sorry, but the fact that Rise of the Resistance has B mode Kylo almost all the time now, I mean, I'm starting to get Yeti in feelings. That's just happening too often.
I've actually seen the Yeti work. And,
me too. I was one of the few people.
Incredible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's so awesome. And whatever, and Joe Rohde has come on record saying that whatever the usual story, the general story about why it doesn't work is untrue. So whatever that is, hey guys, fix it. Or maybe you just know that you're going to have just as many people going through that ride, whether you fix it or not. And that's the thing that Disney seems to be doing right now. Even though they've said they're going to quote unquote turbocharge the parks, they seem to be doing a lot of cost benefit analysis. They'd rather build DVC than fix their attractions and bring in the level of quality that we all would associate with the Disney of the past. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you looking forward to the new Country Bear attraction? Or are you reserving your judgment until a later date? Tell us your thoughts because we would love to know. This clip was part of our now regular Thursday live stream, which starts at noon Eastern Time. Of course, if you're not in that time zone, just hit the notification bell if you'd like YouTube to tell you when that is. Like this video if you like this video. If you know someone who is as interested as we are in this kind of thing, then maybe you should share the link with them. And of course, please consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.